gun bitches drop.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yo, what's up everybody? Thanks so much for sticking by for the past 20 minutes waiting for the game to start. I'm sorry about the delays. Looks like Zero Chance's game has just opened, so he should be at the server soon. What actually happened is that his ESEA subscription expired, and he's just resubscribed, and it's a bit of a while to register. So I see his game has just launched, which means he should be connecting shortly. In the meantime, let's just chat a little bit about the game. Yeah, a really interesting game at hand. Sinister5 against Big5 Esports, as you can see at the top of your screen. And it's a team, or a matchup between two teams with a ton of potential, albeit different forms of potential. There is a ton of potential on the playing field tonight. Looking at the likes of Big5, certainly the more experienced roster when it comes to time being together. The most recent change they made was bringing Blaze into the mix, and it's been a pretty positive change since music too loud to hear you. Alrighty, let me just turn that down. Sorry about that, guys. That should be a bit better. Alrighty, I just want to have it on in the background before we start the game. So, yeah, where was I? Just chatting about Big5. The change, Blaze coming into the team, it seems to have been a positive change. They're doing really well in the VS at the moment, top of the log. They've played 7 games, won 7 games so far, and really being the dominant force that they are starting to be expected. They've got some key players in this team. I mean, looking at their lineup between Lighters, Convict and Custom, there is a ton of experience with those guys dating back a really long time in the South African scene. So they've got all the ingredients. It's just taken a bit of time. I believe they've had quite a lot of role switching amongst them, but it seems like they may have finally settled down with Convict as the in-game leader and the main AWP, taking quite a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, certainly capable of doing that. He is a hell of a player, certainly someone who I'll be keeping my eyes on tonight. But Blaze is another one of the guys who I think is going to be a catalyst for Big5's success. I think they needed that new blood, somebody who has a different perspective on the game. Sometimes if you don't have that fresh blood, things may get a little bit stagnant. You have a look at the Mistems, the JTs, the Fadies, the Sonics, all of these guys started as fresh blood and experienced lineups, and they went on to become superstars. So I think Blaze, with the right help, could be destined for the same path. Enough about Big5 though, a little bit about Sinister5, as we see Zero Chance has connected, but it seems like we can only have 9 players on the server, because as he connected, Lighter's disconnected. But I'm sure he'll be back in soon. So talking about the Sinister5 lineup, they've been a little bit unlucky as of recent times, because they've had to substitute quite a few players due to internet issues. A couple guys have been out of the country on holiday or business or whatever it may be. And so they haven't really been able to get the consistent practice and game time together that they would have liked um, over the past couple of weeks. So that's a bit unfortunate for them. And the most notable thing about this evening is that Mr. Hellhound is going to be standing in for them. Now, I'm not sure that he's played an official matchup since Damage Control. I'll try to get hold of him and find out about that. Of course, he is one of South Africa's Counter-Strike legends, been playing this game for an absolutely monumental amount of time, and he's certainly staked his claim as one of the most experienced and talented players bled from South Africa. And it looks like we're actually going to get going with the knife round. Just to round out about Sinister5, some really talented players in that team as well. I think Divo is one of the guys who's destined for greatness in that team. He's got a lot of potential. We've seen it in the past few teams. He was actually playing under Zero Chance at Flipside as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they have got game time and experience with one another. And hopefully Zero Chance can unlock that potential. He is known for doing that, taking young players, young inexperienced players under his wing and molding them into their potential, or helping them achieve their potential. You also have a look at a guy like Hackham, who has been around the Counter-Strike scene in South Africa for so much time. He's got also, when he is firing, he's one of the best players in South Africa. That guy is really difficult to stop when he's hitting his shots. So he's also somebody who's I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on. And I mean, we saw he had been playing for Goliath Gaming for quite a while. Had some success there. He's moved across now, and he seems to have a thing for joining these teams that have got a lot of potential, but they're not really. What I'm getting at is he joined Carbon as well when they had JT Fady and the likes of those guys, Makmur, and he managed to actually help those guys reach their potential. So he has that ability as well to unlock these types of things in players. But enough rambling. Let's get going with the game. Finally, thank you so much for waiting, guys. Once again, sorry about the delay. And without further ado, we can see a pistol round. Unfortunately, a bit of an AFK there from one of the players from the T side. He does make it back just in time though before any of the action goes down. And it looks like Big5 want to take a bit of control towards Apps here before they commit to anything. Convict also trying to get Banana control here with Lighters, but Hackham going for a bit of a peek for information. He gets a lot more than that. Sets Sinister5 with a one-man advantage. Fortunately for Big5, it wasn't Convict who had the equipment. I didn't actually get to see exactly what Lighters had, but I'm assuming he had armor. Oh, what a beautiful shot there by Zero Chance. Phenomenal timing there, catching Spartan on the rotate. And that's just setting things up really nicely for Sinister5 here. Blaze does trade one back, taking down Divo, who was a little bit more expansive there than he needed to be, pushing through Apps. Blaze picking up another kill as he starts to make some inroads towards the A-bomb sites. His teammate Convict trying to wrap back through middle, but he's getting wrapped on here by Hackham, who just spotted him, now keeping his attention, getting decent information as well. And what this means is that he's grouped the terrorists up towards second middle, and Sinister5 can set up perfectly for this. And what a clever play coming out here from Hackham as he rotates back all the way up Banana, doesn't take the duel at all. He knows how important his life is, gives Zero Chance the perfect opportunity, hides in the corner, peeks out, takes down both the remaining Big5 players, and very little mistakes made that round from Sinister5. What I was just going back to my point there about Hackham and why what he did was so important. Once he already took the presence here at the bottom of Banana, he knew that these guys would be constantly concerned about that. If he dies, they have a free path to get into the B bomb side. All of a sudden it's a 2v2, and it's really not easy to retake as the CTs. So by going up and playing defensively at the top of Banana, he reduces his risk significantly. Big5 Esports do decide to force back into this round, as they've got pistols and armor to work with. Little to no equipment though, only the single flashbang on Lighters, so that's going to have to be a pretty monumental one. Going for the boost over the wall here, Divo's ready for it. Takes down Convict, and without even a single point of damage being dealt in return, Lighters trades out for the Desert Eagle. I'm sure he's quite happy about that in the end. Probably not, but he's going to receive the same treatment. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Big5 are able to get too much done in this round as of yet. Of course, don't really go into these types of rounds with the expectation to win, but you would like to get a bit of damage done. Maybe drop a couple of guns on the CT side, force them to rebuy. Maybe you get a kit, perhaps the guy bought head armor, you're able to punish that. Spartan tries to catch one of the players off guard on the A-bomb site. He gets brought down to 10 HP himself. A really good crossfire coming at you from Sinister5 on the A-bomb site. Custom trying to chime in as well, but neither of them able to get much done at this point. And eventually Spartan does come good for a kill. He'll be quite pleased with that considering he was only on 10 health though. It looks like it's going to be the only frag of the round for Big5. Blair's the only player remaining. He's renowned for some deagle frags. This guy's, oh there we go, as I say. Does land the one shot onto Zero Chance, not the one tap nonetheless, but in the end, same result. Dada takes his head off and Sinister5 not making any mistakes again. Gonna have to be the full eco now from Big5. One thing that Big5 did do successfully in that force buy is they took it slow. Something that you would have heard me talking about last round is the terrorists' ability to bleed CT's utility when they're on an eco round, just by having a little bit of presence towards some parts of the map, not committing, forcing them to use smokes and molotovs. You can see Zero Chance looking to get aggressive here down middle, and he's going to catch a couple of players lined up, takes one down, and in fact they're peeking pretty individually at this point. Eventually he does get taken down by Spartan. Dada trades it out and hack him with an HE grenade. Divo wants to get in on the action as well, and he is going to find a frag to close out the round. So Sinister5 go 3-0 up. And we're going to have the first buy round here, which is going to be pretty significant. Of course, certainly not the be-all or end-all by any stretch of the imagination, but you do want to get on the board nice and early after you've lost the pistol round. And there's a pretty good opportunity for them to do that with Hellhound along with a Mr. Dada on a FAMAS. It's really frustrating that the money is over the person's name, so it's actually impossible to see who that guy is. I mean, you can work it out by deduction, but when there's so much going on, it's not the easiest thing, so it takes a couple extra seconds. Having a look at the setup here from Big5, pretty default coming out from them. Sinister5 with some presence towards Banana. They want to have at least some information if Big5 do decide to go here. But certainly a standard setup coming out from Sinister5. One player just in ditch, one guy on A-bomb side covering quad, and one guy towards archers. Big5 got a couple smokes to work with here, so they don't have to commit to anything. You can see they're trying to take the brackets at the top and middle. Managed to get control after expending one smoke, and it looks like Spartan may get a little bit, or rather Convict may get a little bit inquisitive here. It does decide to back off, and with this top middle control, they can actually get a lot of work done. The only thing they're really missing is Banana, because Hack'em has this angle and a smoke still. They're able to afford to rotate Zero Chance around to archers, and that means that Divo has now moved across to the A-bomb site, so they have fortified their defense here, and it's not going to be easy for Big5 to crack the nod as they do make their into side. A nice entry by Spartan. He takes down Dada. He actually gets the double onto Divo, and he has the absolute ability to achieve that. We've seen it time and time again, and I feel like he may be the X factor for Big5 if they are going to go on to be one of the top teams for a long time in South Africa. He's certainly going to have to continue playing like that, which he has proven capable of time and time again. Great entries there by Spartan. In fact, pity we weren't on him in that case. And that's his job. He's the entry fragger for Big5. He has been for a while, and successfully so. So, as I said, important round for the terrorists to try and get on the board after losing that pistol, and they do so in style. Zero Chance, the only player remaining. He's going to be trying to keep this orb and take it into the next round. Not having any impact on this round whatsoever. Blaze is going hunting, and he's going to get close. Zero Chance actually lands the no-scope, and that's really unfortunate for Blaze. Just in the absolute dying seconds of the round, eventually he finds him, but doesn't get the desired result. So, Sinister5, they're going to be able to buy up here once again, but they are going to be expending all the cash that is remaining in their reserves. UMP for Blaze as well, certainly not ideal, but he's going to be able to make do. Zero Chance with this AWP, tries to have some presence towards Banana. Big5 smoking off the top, and that means that Sinister5 have no potential to take Banana control. In fact, it gives Big5 so much confidence that they don't even need to commit a single player to have a look there. I mean, I was speaking about how they may be concerned about having no presence towards Banana and allowing Sinister5 to stack on A, but last time they were able to deal with it. Dada's going to be the first point of contact again. This time he's good for 1 frag, but that's all it's going to be. Sinister5 certainly need to get more work done when locking down that A bomb site. At least find a second frag. The retake is really difficult as the CTs to try and get control of that A bomb site once again. Positions like ditch, deep on the site, graveyard, apps, so many different corners to try and check. It's nearly impossible, especially with the man down. Hack'em the only guy with the kit, and you can see Sinister5 want absolutely nothing to do with it. Another great round here by Big5, not wasting any time, picking up 2 on the trot, and that's going to put some pressure on Sinister5, who of course are using a substitute, as pretty much has been the theme for them for the past 2 weeks. Really keen to see them when they get a bit of time to grind as a unit and have a couple months together. I think that's the most important recipe for this team, or ingredient to the recipe, is that they maintain the same 5 through thick and thin, work the issues out. You know what it's about, guys. Same thing about your team. Don't just go to the extent of trying to replace a player. Rather try and work it out, because bringing a new player into a team is a massive disruption. Have a look at the decision Sinister5 have made here, and you can see exactly why they are one of the top teams in South Africa, deciding to save. A lot of teams would opt to force around the 3 rifles which they saved, but they are playing the long game. Still very early on here, no need to make silly commitments. And with 3 weapons, they still have potential to win the round. Big5, very aggressive up Banana this time for a change, which means they're going to deny Sinister5 any information. And that's a bit worrying for Sinister5, because when they've even had the information that no one's in Banana, they haven't been able to hold down the A bomb site with the extra player. Zero Chance trying to be proactive with the AWP. Doesn't work out for him. As Spartan does take down Dada, Hellhound tries to trade him out, and he's actually going to be able to with the USP up close. I think a flashbang came through for him there, and that's going to signal Big5 to rotate back around towards the B bomb site. Smoking off CT, standard play, going to be coming through together. Yeah, Divo is going to be the man to try and take down first. He's able to get 1, but again, Big5 are going to be more content with that trade than their opponents. Bomb going to be going down at the coffin's position. Hack'em looking to try and get the spray through. Deals a bit of damage to the player all the way at the back in Banana, but nothing of major significance. Zero Chance comes good with an AWP frag. There's just sprays going down absolutely everywhere at this moment. Tons of pressure being applied by Sinister5 before the retake comes through. And the remaining 3 players do have rifles, a couple with armor and kits as well. Certainly a doable situation for them here until Custom finds a frag. Lighters is going to have to give him some support here. Maybe just holding the angle for a bit long. He's able to get 1, and it's actually perfect timing from him in the end, as he takes Hack'em down as well with a mere 20 points of health remaining. Big5 able to close that round out in the end, and Sinister5 are going to be buying back into this one, so no easy rounds coming through for Big5 just yet. They've pretty much been up against rifles every single round they've won so far. It's a pretty good sign for them, though. I mean, that they've actually picked up those 3 rounds. Once again, fairly standard. Seems to be their default, throwing the smoke at the top of Banana, just denying Sinister5 any opportunity to work their way in there, take a deep Banana control. Certainly a tactic you'll see CTs employing, smoking towards the bottom of Banana with 1 player and getting 1 guy posted towards the top, maintaining that information. That allows the extra player to rotate around to A and give some extra support to the bomb site, while the guy at B still has a smoke. So as soon as he has any presence from the terrorists at the bottom of Banana, he can smoke, and that gives time for his teammate to rotate back around. Passive round here once again coming out from Big5, and they've been quite successful with their default, so why would they not just carry on with it? Taking the brackets control here once again at the top of middle, smoking off left side, get 1 guy posted up there. Bomb going to be making its way through there as well. Perhaps they're abusing this A bomb site of Sinister5's at the moment, because it requires so much coordination to try lock down Dada in ditch at the moment. And again, he should be the first point of contention. Zero Chance is going to have to come through for the supports as well. Dada does take down one. In fact, he only gets the assist. Zero Chance is there to finish off. Hellhound's not going to be able to get much more done either. And it's all about the entries, as Lighters and Custom make pretty quick work of the A players. Divo able to get one as he pushes through the smoke, but Custom there to make sure it does not go untraded. Hackam, one of the stars of the Sinister5 lineup, going to be looking to complete this 1 versus 2 clutch here. Doesn't have the kit to work with, so he's going to have to move fairly quickly here. Looks like a flashbang maybe coming through. Yep, he may be able to turn his back just in time. He's going to opt to save the AK-47, and probably the smart decision considering the amount of time that was remaining, and he had absolutely no idea where the remaining players were from Big5. So Big5 complete the route, got 4 on the trot now, and that's going to force Sinister5 finally into a hard eco round. Maybe able to pick up a couple of pistols or light armor, but nothing of major significance. This is great news for Big5, the fact that their default is just working out so perfectly for them. They haven't even had to resort to any direct executes or trying something different from the playbook, and when things are working out that well on the T side, just begins to flow really naturally, especially on a map like Inferno where there is so much potential on the T side. You tend to find teams on the T side exploiting the fact that it's a really long rotation between the A and the B bomb sites by bringing fakes into the attack. Easily fake the B bomb site with a CT smoke and a coffin smoke, rotate one player back around to A, and it's really difficult as the CTs to try and call the bluff on these fakes. That's why information is so vital. Sinister5 have none of it at this round. Divo, the only player here at the B bomb site. Look at what Big5 are doing here. They know that there may be a stack on one of the bomb sites. Blaze doesn't spot the head there. That gives Divo an opportunity, and he takes it with both hands. Able to make it back with 18 points of health. It's going to be Convict to try and trade it out. He does that successfully. Convict gets, or rather Spartan gets a pick towards the top of middle as well. And that leaves Big5 slightly torn at this point, as they're not sure which bomb site to go to. Zero Chance is able to find a frag in Apps. Retrieves the AK-47 as well, and there's only 28 seconds left on the clock here. Looks like they're going to be committing to the A bomb site potentially. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to at this point with only 20 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to wrap around through library side. Zero Chance certainly is going to have a chance at this. He spots one, he spots two. They knows exactly what's going on here. He's going to be calling for the cavalry, or at least the paladin, to rotate across. And now that Zero Chance has been trapped like a rat in a corner, Convict is going to execute him. And that leaves Hackam in a pretty unwinnable situation. Really great patience and... well, yeah, great patience coming out from Big5 there. Not panicking with the 20 seconds left on the clock. Continuing to walk here, sowing the seed of doubt in the minds of the Sinister5 players. And not giving them any cues whatsoever until they are on the bomb site. Decent damage done in the eco round though for Sinister5, finding 2 frags. Hackam once again able to take his armor and AK-47 into the next round as well. So... need be, he may be able to drop the AWP. Zero Chance did save 3,300. Yeah, he's got plenty considering the round loss bonus. Just a quick thanks to everybody for joining me this evening. My name's Hayes. It would be greatly appreciated if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once I get to 100 subscribers, I'll be able to create a custom URL for my stream. And that means it won't be a cluster of letters and numbers, and characters, and random stuff like that. So that'd be great, guys. I'd really appreciate that. Back to the game here. Sinister5, they're going to have to bounce back at this stage. Big5 have been looking great in these past 5 rounds, ever since the pistol, or the first buy round. They have certainly been the favorable of the two. Have a look at how far back Spartan's actually forced them. He's gotten full apps control, and again Sinister5 sitting very deep on the A bomb site very early on in the round. It gives Big5 a lot of map control to work with. You can see Hellhound reverting back to a very passive position on A. I actually tweeted out that he would be in ditch. I'm quite surprised that he's not. I mean, of course, the reasonable explanation is that that's Dada's natural position. And as the sub, Hellhound would have to fulfill the position of the player who's missing. So finds himself in fairly unfamiliar territory, but certainly capable nonetheless. Big5 again, just running the clock down here. They got one guy towards Banana. As I said, that fake certainly comes into fruition a lot on this map. Convict just throwing out a lone smoke towards B, and have a look at that. Pulls the rotates, or initially from 0 chance. He's actually been brought down to 6 points of health. The execute is going to be coming from this Archer's position. Looks like it's going to be a wrap onto the A-bomb side. They've got players coming from every single angle at this point. Blaze is going to be the first one to find a player, but he does get traded. 0 chance gets one as well. Convict doesn't waste any time when he finds a frag for himself, and amidst all the chaos, it is Big5 who come out on top once again. So this A-bomb side certainly proving to be Achilles tendon on the Sinister5 side at this point. He may have an opportunity to get the retake going here. Hack'em tapping away. He does take them custom. Convict is the only player remaining now on 8 points of health. The Molotov's going to come out. That's going to force Convict out into the open, in fact. Doesn't even need to do that as it burns him alive. Hack'em, with so much time left on the defuse, goes back for the AWP. And he's going to be able to get the defuse through. So Sinister5 able to bounce back finally through a retake.
Counter-terrorists win.
Big5, although they've won 5 rounds in a row, don't have the best economy at the moment. And if Sinister5 can pick up this round, they're going to be forcing them to use their residual cash, and that's going to put them in reset territory. So a good opportunity for Sinister5 to get back into this game here. Not that they were out of it by any stretch, but they would have been a little bit worried after those 5 rounds. Once again, default coming out here from Big5, and they're getting apps control really easily here. Sinister5 just happy to leave it uncontested time and time again. Perhaps they could throw a spanner in the works and contest it against Spartan here, maybe try and challenge him towards Boiler or at the balcony. 0 chance still locking down this angle from Archers with the AWP. Big5 certainly have been favoring this A-bomb site, so you can see that, or excuse me, there's 2 players here. They've just got a boost going. It's a bit deceptive on the mini-map, looks like it's just one guy. Slowly but surely, excuse me for the mess up there, Divo is the man. Couldn't see his number because Hack'em was on top of it on the minimap, and he was the player on the bottom, so that's a bit frustrating. The joys of trying to do the observing while casting. Not an easy task. But I'm doing my best. 0 chances going to be challenged here towards Archers once again. He catches a couple bullets through the smoke. Only 25 seconds left on the clock here, so Sinister5 are going to have to commit to this A-bomb side once again. Hellhound, he hasn't been found out. There's a good opportunity for him to get a multi-frag. Only good for 1. 0 chance. Not able to answer back, though. He nearly lands the shot through the smoke. That would have been phenomenal. Divo is able to interrupt the operations as he finds the planter and the support player. Eventually, he does get traded out. The bomb's going to go down just in the nick of time for Big5. Hack'em eventually rotating back around. And again, it's going to be a retake here for Sinister5. 2 versus 2. Both players have got kits, so time in their favor. And again, Hack'em looking for that tap away on the player in ditch. Up to Blaze, not to be challenging here. He does eventually find the kill. And 0 chance now, the only player remaining. He knows what a difficult crossfire that is to try and break, especially with an AWP. Even though he's got the kits, he's got barely any health to work with. Makes the logical decision and backs away. Spartan having a great game so far. I mean, this guy really, like I said earlier, he has the ability to go crazy. He's been one of those, I mean, when he was picked up by Big5, I'm not sure how much experience he had in a top flight team, but he didn't waste any time before he started showing that he's certainly worthy of being in that position. You can see that Big5 are preempting the eco round here from Sinister5. A couple players on Mac 10s. Convict and Lighters. Going to be looking to rack up the dosh. as they go very aggressively up and on this time for the first time this game, as there is only one player from Big 5, and that is Zero Chance with the AWP. Going to be looking to drop a Molotov to give himself some cover, but Big 5 are absolutely relentless in their chase. Zero Chance is going to have to get a couple here. He's not even good for one, and that's the round over before it really even began for Sinister5. So what do you guys think of the quality of the stream? Are you happy? I got a pretty new line recently, and my PC is not the best, but it seems to be holding frames up alright. It's a little bit grainy. I think that's just down to my CPU, but it should be alright. I haven't seen anybody complaining about it, but if you guys do have any feedback, I'd appreciate that. Big 5 looking hot as per the rest of this half, and Spartan 17 and 7 currently. The next highest fragger on his team is on 6, so he's only got 3 times that amount. Hack'em this time being entrusted with the lone B job, as the rest of his teammates are stacking up over towards A. Suppose B job could be misconstrued. I'll use a better choice of words next time. Back to the passive default here for Big 5. Spartan nice and slowly making his way up on the entry here, not giving any information that he's coming forward, but it's actually Zero Chance who connects on the headshot, and that's going to send a little bit of chaos through the communication of Big 5 as... well, maybe not. Maybe that's a little bit exaggerated, but point being that they are not exactly set up for anything yet. And after they lose that frag, they know they're still up against the eco. 45 seconds left on the clock. They're going to be reverting back to the B bomb site here, but hack'em actually is able to find a pick. And that may bring Zero Chance into the fray here. He misses a couple of shots. He's good to take down lighters, though. And this will send Big 5 into a bit of chaos now. Only 2 players remaining in Custom and Convict. 2 of the double Ks, the legendary duo. With a monumental task in their hands here, and a perfect flash means that they're going to have absolutely no opportunity. And Sinister5, ironically, actually winning the round, keeping 4 players alive, even though it was a hard eco. That is not something that you get to see every day. I generally call those rounds formalities, and Sinister5 just absolutely proved me wrong. Just goes to show, guys, that you need to give it your all in every single round. You never know what's going to happen. Big 5, it seems like they may have just second-guessed themselves a little bit there. Sometimes you need to take the bull by the horns against the eco rounds. This gives Sinister5 a great opportunity to try and pull back this half here. Zero Chance starts it off well by picking up Sponsored in middle. And that's going to be disrupting the apps control for Big 5. Custom, though, actually managed to maintain that. But down a man early, which is not something that they've experienced too frequently. So how did they react to the situation? Looks like they're going to be heading towards A once again. Not much presence towards B, although Lighters does throw a smoke towards the top just to make sure Sinister5 don't have too much information to work with. And he actually salvages the smoke from Spartan's body as well. Nice little touch there from him, making sure that no piece of utility goes unused. And Hellhound and Dada have got a pretty deadly crossfire setup here from the ditch position. Although some effective flashes come through, Dada's able to get one. Hellhound makes sure that that goes traded, as he's going to have to get a little bit more work done here. Blaze is the player who's doing all the heavy lifting at this point as he picks up the double entry. And it's going to mean the A-bomb site is in their control, although the bomb has not been gotten down just yet. So that means Sinister5 have been able to get quite close on the rotate before the retake comes in through. And Divo actually catching Blaze, getting a little bit overzealous there, and he's actually going to catch Lighters as well, who wasn't expecting him to be there so quickly. A little bit of attention was drawn by hack'em, and that was all that was required. So a very important retake coming through for Sinister5, keeping themselves in the game. And Zero Chance having a bit of a blinder here. 14 for 8 has been doing a really good job on the AWP so far. Certainly a weapon that he's known for throughout his career. In-game leading as well, something that he does very well. It's not something that you see too frequently, the AWP on the in-game leader. In South Africa, it seems to be a bit of a theme. Convict, previously Black Poison, 0 chance. Not sure. No, I mean, I'm not sure if Zin is the AWP for XTC currently. Yeah, just I don't know what that's about. That seems to be a thing. Should relinquish some responsibility, guys. Focus on the AWP. Although, having said that, 0 chance is having absolutely no trouble taking full responsibility, at least in this game. Sinister5 are the players to drop the first frag this round, and Big5 don't have the best economy in this round to work with, so you can see they've gone for the force buy, but they did start the round with 2 pistols. They've been able to salvage a rifle, though, from 0 chance. That goes over to custom, I believe, the AWP. And Sinister5 fairly splits up across the map here. At least they've got a bit of a crossfire towards A, but the remaining 2 players are in no man's land. Big5 can exploit that if they do just continue to make their way up nice and slow. That's what it's about when you get the one-man advantage, not to overcommit to anything. Abuse that one-man advantage by playing with one another, trading out frags, going for the basic A execute here once again, wrapping through archers. Really difficult to try and hold off from this hit as the CTs. They catch the player in ditch with his pants down, and Dada has got a massive task in his hands here, not even going to be able to land a single point of damage. And the A bomb side once again firmly in control of Big5. This has just been the theme of this half so far. Sinister5 certainly struggling to lock it down. Of course, the substitute Hellhound is playing on A. He is the bottom fragger at the moment, not taking anything away from his ability, but he's certainly struggling a little bit in the position that he's playing. Where's the grenade when you need it, man? Dozier, ex-god. Hey? Of course, everybody's seen it. For anybody that hasn't, I mean, maybe there's someone who's watching that's unfamiliar. Go type in Dozier grenade from heaven. Absolutely iconic moment in the previous major. Getting back into the game here, final round of the first half. We're going to see a full buy from both teams. It's always nice to round out the half. Not going to be hampered by a lack of weaponry. And a little bit more aggression coming out in the early stages of the round here from Big5. They're going to be met by a smoke from the CTs who want to maintain that control at the top of Banana. That grenade does a chunk of damage to Divo. AG grenades, not something that is as popular on the T side. It's certainly something you see more on the CT side. You'll find T players prefer having 2 flashes to work with. Speaking of flashes, Mr. Flashy Player, Spartan gets another entry towards the top of middle, and that blows the door wide open on the map, because have a look at how Sinister5 respond. They rotate one of their B players, specifically Hackham, all the way across, leaving Mr. Divo with the lone job of defending the B bomb site. Not an easy task, especially when you're playing from CT and you get smoked off. It's really one of those situations where you may be able to get 1 frag before the smoke comes down, and you can see how Big5 play this. They only throw the smoke down once they're immediately ready to cross, which nullifies that flash, but they actually miss their smoke mark, and that means Divo has a gap to work with. The rotations have come through now. Spartan, who's on incredibly low HP, is not going to be able to get across, although Blaze is able to catch Divo through the edge of that smoke. Down to the 2 versus 3 here. Retake gonna have to come through here. Of course, this is the final round of the first half. Blaze looking to try and get a bit of damage done before the retake does start to come through. Not going to be able to get that done. Custom now playing from Bry. Going to be able to catch Dada, but he takes a ton of damage himself, and Hackham will be closing out the frag as Sinister5 do make it a competitive half at 8-7. Or 7-8 rather, in Big5's favor, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think both teams will be quietly content with that half. Big5 maybe would have expected a little bit more from themselves considering the start that they got. And from Sinister5's perspective, they'll be content with how the game was going, that they were down 5-3 at one stage. 8-7, not a disappointing result. Of course, as noted previously, Sinister5 are playing with the substitute in Hellhound, and that's certainly more of a certainly more difficult to play with the sub on the T side than it is to play with a sub on the CT side, just due to the amount of coordination that executes need, specifically covering different angles as your teammates, throwing specific util. Maybe he doesn't expect a flash that they throw. Those are all these small things that come into play when using a substitute. I'm interested to see what pistol rounds Sinister5 come out with here. Zero Chance has always had some adventurous pistol rounds. You can see throwing an early flash towards the top of middle to deter any players pushing up, and that allows his teammates to go up second mid. He has a bit of a presence with the P250 towards top and on as well. And Big5 with a bit of a presence there of their own. Couple players stacking up over the wall. Lighters actually gets boosted up, and they've rotated the third player across towards A. Actually utilizing one of their smokes here does Dada. That's towards the right side of middle. They're going to push through the smoke and onto the A bomb side. A second smoke coming through from Zero Chance, and Custom is going to have to get the heavy lifting done here from the ditch position. He's going to have to land a couple of one-taps. Spartan comes through, giving him the support. He takes the attention. So Custom still hasn't got any work done yet, but he has kept himself alive, which means he's been a thorn in Sinister5's side the entire time. He comes through with the frag, and that means the bomb has been dropped in no man's land. And as I said, now all he needs to do is keep himself alive. You can see though that Zero Chance is actually coming with the wrap. All those Lighters spidey senses tingle at the final second before he gets executed, and he's able to avert the disaster. Sinister5 unfortunately not able to get that pistol round through. I really like what they did. As I said, creative as ever from Zero Chance, smoking off the right side of middle, pushing through it just as it dissipates. What smoking here should do is it would force the player all the way back onto the A bomb site, or perhaps he watches a different angle and you can catch him off guard. He then threw us his smoke to block off the library rotates, which means anybody who's come from B or the arch player can't help stop the execute. So, Big5, certainly with the weaponry advantage in this round, able to take deep banana control, but Sinister5 have been able to get towards the top of middle quite early here, and without sustaining much damage besides Divo, who is brought down to 24. Of course, they only have the pistols and armor to work with here, so it's going to be difficult for them to find frags, but as proved by Sinister5 themselves, it is certainly possible. Dada, exactly doing that, finding a great one-tap onto Spartan though, but they have taken a ton of damage. Hack him down to 2 points of health now as well. And they only have the lone flash left on Dada to try and potentially find a second frag. Really great to see that he is investing in that flash. Too frequently we see teams rather committing to weaponry or armor, prioritizing it over utility, and a single flashbang can go a long way. In fact, have a look at this. They've actually been able to open up the A bomb site almost completely. The only player standing in their way is Lighters, and he's just got to keep himself alive while the rotations come through. He's able to pick up another frag while he's at it. The jump is going to lead to his demise, but he has certainly given Blaze a winning chance at this. He catches a shot from the scout. He doesn't land any shots onto Dada, who just needs to return one of his own. He does that successfully, and Sinister5 again picking up one of the more unlikely rounds as they get that force buy, and that's going to be really frustrating for Big5. Great opportunity for them to pull away with the game there after picking up the pistol, and you can see that that just forces a little bit of frustration in their camp as they decide to force at the last second. Not necessarily that it happened there, but always a clear indication of frustration in a team when they buy disjointly. Certainly an amateur mistake that you don't want to be making as a team. Always make sure that you wait to see what the whole team consensus is before you commit, because all it needs is one mistake. Divo, he's not making any mistakes at this point, takes off the head of Spartan. Convict though might have an opportunity to get something done here. Nearly catches Dada off guard, tries to step out before he checks the corner. Doesn't come through successfully though, and Custom now the only player on the A-bomb side once again in ditch. got a Desert Eagle to work with, so the potential's there, and his teammates are wrapping up behind you through Banana, so they are corralling the T players into the A bomb sites, although I'm not sure that that's going to mean all too much. Custom going to get taken down by Hellhound, and that's probably going to spell the end of the round here for Big 5. Lights is at least going to be able to grab back a frag onto Dada, which means he's going to save the UMP. The weakest of the weaponry across Sinister5, unfortunately for him. But he'll take whatever he can get at this point. Certainly going to have to save next round our Big 5. So that UMP with armor may come into play. Of course, potential for $600 is there. Shout out to 9 viewers. You guys are the bomb. Pretty sure one of them is my mom. Shout out to you, mom. I'm just playing. As I said, Big 5 gonna have to save here. Certainly no money to spare. Can't even invest in a pistol upgrade or a flashbang. A couple guys I suppose do actually go for the pistol upgrade, it seems. I was looking at the economy before I saw the buy. Big 5 do decide to commit to the stack here, which is certainly understandable, as when you do have the heavy weaponry disadvantage, you want to give yourself every chance at trying to win the round, and stacking up players is certainly one of the ways of doing that. You can see Spartan playing counter flash. He's not trolling by aiming at his teammate, as he's got Convict at his feet ready to take the attention. It's actually, the setup is going to come into play here from Big 5. How successful is it going to be? Diver waiting on the back of a flash. Hack'em, Molly's off the corner. Here comes the flash. Convict able to dodge it, so he's going to be able to face with his teammate. Spartan's good for one. Diver gets one before he goes down. Custom able to come through with the CZ as well, and you can see this is creating hesitancy here from Sinister5. They're going to try and back down towards middle, and it's actually Big 5 who walk away with the map control at the end there. Looks like they're going to be rotating through towards B, where Lighters is playing with this UMP and armor. Potential certainly there for Big 5 in this round. Rotations come through from Spartan as well. He's actually good for a frag with the AK-47. And that is going to be really frustrating for Sinister5. Only 22 seconds left on the clock. Hellhound's playing towards the bottom of Banana, potentially waiting for the flanker to come through. Spartan's not wasting any time as he goes through and takes down Dada. Hellhound, the only player remaining, and he's going to receive the exact same treatment. Spartan with the massive round there. This man is 23 and 13 currently. Having a lights out game at the moment. And that just goes to show how much potential lies in these stacks. When you are up against the kosh and you're ecoing, you want to give yourself that opportunity, as I said, and great call there from Big 5 to go for the stack towards archers. Now they have every weapon in the world to work with. Maybe the UMP, the only noticeable asterisk. Spartan, have a look at this. You just can't keep this guy away from apps. He's there, whether it's T side, CT side. It's his home. I mean, they should probably get him a bed in there or something. There used to be that second room, for anyone who recalls. There was a bed in there, I think, maybe. Anyway, holding a great angle here towards Boiler, and he's going to be able to take down Zero Chance as well. No flash coming through there. Nice spot in the angle, and he's not even done yet. These guys are just making it way too easy for him, just walking into his crosshair and saying, hello, I'm here. This is a big round for Sinister5 as well. They've got absolutely no economy to work with after this, and they're going to have to eco into the next round, and that's going to allow Big 5 to pull away a little bit. You can see the remaining two players still want to try and get something done here. You can't blame them for it. They're pushing onto a bomb site which has 3 players, which means they've got a 2 versus 3 to work with here. Convict takes the attention. That's going to allow Spartan to come in, and Diver just has absolutely no clue which angle to cover. And that's why crossfires can be so effective, and it's really important not to bait your teammates in a negative manner. You can see as soon as Convict has a presence, Spartan slowly starts making his way around the corner as he takes the shot Convict comes through for the frag as well, and Sinister5 are left absolutely clueless. Whoa, massive grenades coming out there from Big5. Oh my god, I chose the absolute wrong way to look away from the screen. I mean, wrong time to look away from the screen, as I missed the blender in banana. Man, that is frustrating. I hope I was on the auto direct, or that you guys got to catch that at least, because that round was over before it really even began. Sinister5 with pretty much the last gasp of air here, and Lighters wants to put the foot on, or the boot on the neck here, as he goes very aggressively down middle. Hackham able to punish him for it, and he even doubles up, taking down Blaze towards Banana as well. And that is the advantage firmly pulled in Sinister5's favor. Convict, the only player towards B. Just chatting a little bit about that play coming out from Lighters. He goes for the Hail Mary. The potential's there. Spartan, I'll get back to my point. It's the next point of contention here. He gets flashed off the angle. Custom's going to have to try and lock down Archers here. Shouldn't be going for the repeat. The flash comes through from his teammate, but Zero Chance makes it work absolutely blind. And that leaves Convict in the 1 versus 3. He's got no points of entry, or no easy points of entry. I suppose Zero Chance has given up Archers, but he would have gotten the sound cues there. Convict up close, weapon switches before he goes for the shot. We've all made that mistake in our game play, and just unfortunate timing to be making that mistake. Going back to what I was saying, what was I saying? Ah, wait, no, not that. All right, if it's important enough, it'll come back to me. Sinister5 winning a very important round there, and okay, I was talking about the Lighters play. So he traded 1 for 1 there down middle, and that means that it's a 4 versus 4, of course, which is a heavily favored advantage for the terrorists. Just especially considering the time on the clock. There's still 1 minute 35 seconds left. The CTs have got a lot less potential to work with in terms of keeping map control, but it doesn't look like it's going to be meaning much in the bigger scheme of things, as they've already found themselves 2 picks. Sinister5 haven't been able to get anything in reply. No map control, no trade frags, and really nothing positive to speak of at this point. Still quite a bit of time left on the clock, so no need to freak out, but they are going to have to make a decision here and stick with the 3 remaining players. Don't really have opportunity to send a lurker off. And you can see they are going to make their way towards the B bomb site, which is a smart decision considering they are down a couple of players, and generally there are only 2 CTs here to combat. And it's going to be Lighters with the AWP, who holds a really good angle, super narrow, and he really only would have been able to get a player who slowly peeked into that. If someone swung wide, he would have got the info at least, and he wouldn't have been taken down himself. But if an AWP is going to peek him like that, he has no trouble getting the frag. The remaining 2 Sinister5 players are going to be saving their weaponry. They've got a lot of utility head armor, AK-47, so certainly the wise decision to be making, but they don't really have any money to work with. I wouldn't be surprised to see them going for the force buy in this situation, because 2 of their players aren't going to have any money in the next round. Although Hellhound actually, he'll have enough. Alright, I suppose then they could go for the save here. I saw Zero Chance in 4,200, so there was the potential for him to go for the AK. Okay, they're actually going to do it. Yeah, late decision to force buy. Can't fault that. As even the buy round coming up next wouldn't be completely ideal for them either, so rather take what they can get in this round and try and make it happen. Very passive from Big5. They can smell the end of the game here. Don't want to give anything to work with here for Sinister5. Managed to get some decent middle control early on here, and you can see Zero Chances leading the attack very aggressively. Divo going to go straight through the Molotov. Convict doesn't expect him whatsoever. He's able to get one. Hackam comes through to try and support it as well. And somehow it's actually Custom and Spartan to line up the multi-frag. Hellhound comes through with the trade, but he's going to be all by himself, so he gets taken down, and that's the round for Big5. Sinister5 not even able to get the bomb down there, which means their economy is not going to be assisted whatsoever, and they're going to have to play for the draw here. Going to see the hard eco coming out from them, and that is not going to be boding well for their mentality. And in fact, look at that, they're going to go for the force buy. Hackam, he hasn't bought anything yet. Hackam's going for the full eco. Oh man, that is okay. He was just may have just been AFK, I'm not sure. He does go for the force in the end. Certainly the decision, a wise decision. Divo, he's not going to have any opportunity to even fire a single bullet as he gets taken down. Spartan, the resident apps man, only good for one. Ooh, going for the spam with the CZ. That's not something that you see too frequently. Not going to have too many bullets. I don't know why you can't see the ammo, actually. It's pretty... Oh, it's because he's got a smoke grenade out. That's why. Yeah, CZ, as everybody knows, only got 24 bullets in total. So you want to make sure that every single bullet you shoot is an effective one. Convict able to catch zero chance. He doesn't make the mistake this time of not checking his Molotov. And he does catch a player trying to push through it. So, pays dividends. Going back for the repeak, slowly checking up towards middle. He may get caught off guard if Hackam is aware of it. Unfortunately, he's looking towards Boiler, and Convict's not even done there yet. Unfortunately, just missing the shoulder. He's going to make his way back, although he gets a little bit trigger happy there towards the end. And Hellhound's actually going to be able to find the entrance lighters. They know that Custom is the ditch player, though, so they check it absolutely, and they are able to find that frag. Sinister5 keeping their head above the water here as they do take control of the A-bomb site. Job not done yet, though. Blaze on the 1 versus 2. Got the kit, got the molly, got the flash. He does step towards quad, so that means the jig is going to be up. He knows exactly where Dada is now. That Molotov going to flash him out towards pit, but he gets the spray down through the wheel of the wagon. And Sinister5 still alive and kicking. What would be fairly catastrophic is if they were to go on to lose this round, because that would probably spell the end of the game for them. So Big5 still with a great incentive to, well, I mean, to win the round is a great incentive regardless, but they could deal the killing blow here. Hackam reduced to a Galil. I don't know who enjoys playing with the Galil. Certainly not a lot of professionals. Blaze looking for the boost up, and he's played closely behind by Lighters, who's able to get one pick. Excuse the chaos there with the observing, and because Lighters decides to try and drop a smoke back on the retreat, Devo is going to be able to catch him off, and he's not even done there. He's going to try and get control here towards the back of Coffins, which means the plant can come through, and they can plant in the open if they choose to as well, should they wish. Convict at least has been able to keep control of Church. He decides to swing out, and unfortunately for him, misses the opportunity to take down Divo. That would have made the retake a lot more feasible. Now it's going to be a tough one. They may even decide to go for the save here, and you can see Convict going back to throw smoke. That's going to land towards the top of Banana, I believe, and they actually have a ton of utility to work with here. Convict going to be throwing a flash into the fray as well. Unfortunately, none of it is... Oh, I mean, actually, the Molotov actually comes through. Convict finds a frag onto Hellhound. He switches out for the M4A4, and he takes down Divo in the back of it. Dada's going to go through the smoke. He's going to be able to get one, but Convict still closing out the round. He's got the kit as well, and somehow making magic out of absolutely thin air. Amongst the chaos, Big5 thrive. And as I said, the economy of Sinister5 is going to be blown out of the water if they lose that round, even though they get the bomb down. Ah, that's got to take the wind out of Sinister5's sails. Double AWP setup here coming through for Big5. Lighters, the second AWP for Big5, of course. A position he's become accustomed to for quite some time now. Something he's actually done fairly successfully as well. They've got AWPing potential in custom as well. Spartan can do some pretty flashy things with the weapon too. And you can see a bit of a swapperoo coming out from Spartan and Custom. Eventually, Spartan ends up with the Deagle and Custom ends up with the M4. And that's just purely based on the fact that Spartan is a beast with the Desert Eagle. So he gives Custom the opportunity to wield the rifle. But have a look at the action that's going down on the B bomb side at the moment. No frags have been found just yet, and a very aggressive smoke here on A means that the terrorists have been able to potentially get the bomb down. Blaze, he's going to get tapped away here through the smoke. He actually drops a smoke of his own. Hackam not able to land any more shots through the smoke. You can see he's not committing to the spray. He knows that Blaze has to be in the smoke here. He's still not landing, and somehow Blaze is still alive and kicking. He eventually pushes through. Not able to get a frag though, unfortunately. Lighters though, immediately able to respond potentially. The bomb still not going down yet for the terrorists, and you can see that it's sowed the seed of doubt in the CT's minds. They haven't been able to commit to the rotate yet, but they are making it too easy. Lighters lining up the double and taking them both down. Dada with a 1 versus 3 clutch to boot to try and keep his team in this game. 25 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to hunt for a frag here, but Lighters is perfectly poised to find himself the triple and close out the game. He's going to do exactly that. Beautiful AWPing from him in the end there, just as I spoke about him. Very successful stuff, and that is going to be the end of the game. Of course, this is just a best of 1 ESEA matchup between Sinister5 and Big5. Guys, thank you so much. And enjoy some music. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, if I could ask one massive favor, it would be to subscribe to my channel. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to sound like a broken record, by the way, because this is just really important to me. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I can get a custom URL for my stream, and that would make things a lot nicer than the cluster of random letters and numbers. So if you guys would do me a huge favor, I'd really appreciate that. Alright guys, enjoy some music, and I'll post to my Twitter whether I'm going to be casting that game or not, so if you're interested, just drop me a follow there. Keep your eyes peeled. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, if I don't see you further.